Evening, everybody. It's 5:20, and it's Monday afternoon. This is your closing comment for June the 6th. Okay, so the market started up pretty strongly today and gave most of it back. Gave all of it back in the Dow, which had been the weakest of all, but it did close positive, up 1608, very small. Um, Advanced declines were roughly 1.3 to 1. The NASDAQ fared a little bit better, although it was higher on the strength in the 20 for 1 split Amazon, which traded as high as 129, but closed about 125 and change, up 2.2%. Apple, same situation, closed regular trading at 146.14, up 76 cents after trading 148 and a half. Part of the Apple news was that they are going into the buy now, pay later using Apple Pay. And of course, that sent a firm lower, closed 23.72, down $1.38 or 5.5%. But I will remind you that I have been very negative on that since the company came out, since the stock was up in the $176 area, closed 23.80 today. I just think that it's in general a bad sign for the ability to buy and pay now. And I think that a lot of these secondary financing companies are going to fall by the wayside. Didi, just one more example of why you should not ever trade Chinese stocks with any kind of long range perspective. If you recall, Didi is a rideshare company. The stock came out around 10 or 15, traded as high as 18 the first day. The next day it was down $4 and ultimately moved down all the way to $1.39. This morning, the Chinese came out and said that their investigation of the company might be over, and the stock, which had closed at $1.85, traded as high as about $3.30 pre-market, could only make it to $3 in the real market, and then finished pretty much a penny or two off the low, up at 230, up 45 cents. So, it was interesting that it moved 24% today. You couldn't get me to buy it if they gave me a 60% discount on it. Regeneron was picked up by Jeffries. It was initiated at an underperform. This is a stock that moved from 700 to 600 really in the last 5 or 6 trading days. And on that news, it closed 609.03, down 21.32, or another 3.4%. Mr. Musk is having, I would say, maybe buyer's remorse here on Twitter. The stock closed 39.56, down 60 cents after trading as low as 37.90. I have no clue what's going through his mind, but I will say that Tesla was up to 734 today, but could only manage to hold on to 11 and change and closed at 714. Our best trade of the day was UNG. That's the chart on the screen, which is NAT gas. As you can see, NAT gas was up over 9%. UNG was up 9.5%, and our UNG calls closed $1.73, up 99 cents, or just a scant 133%. AERC, this is a company that this afternoon got an approval for an air purification device from the FDA. The stock had closed yesterday at 237, traded as high as 538. The last is 531. Pardon me, 530, up $2.91 or 125%. As far as the rest of the futures go, grains were a little higher in the corn, soybeans basically unchanged. Wheat was up, excuse me, almost the limit. Well, it was up 53 in the normal wheat, 49 in the red hard wheat, and 38 and three quarters in the spring wheat. Um, Oats, which have had a huge move up, closed down 10 cents a bushel. Oil traded as high as 120.99, finished the day at 18.50, and that's up only 37 cents. As I mentioned, nat gas was up by 9.5%. The gold was down after being up a little this morning. What was interesting there is that the silver had outperformed it all day and remained positive at the end of the day. Coffee up $5, cotton up $1.90. Uh, as I said, S&P was higher. In fact, it closed up 1289 or 0.31%. So what you're looking at here are the futures. I still believe that there's a little bit more left in this rally. The only thing that disturbs me is I've heard 7 or 8 people talking about how possibly there is a bottom in. There's no bottom in. Um, and when people start to talk to you about valuations, the first thing that might want to come to mind is the term value trap, where it looks great and then does absolutely nothing because there's no growth. And value is a very interesting play, and it has its spots and times. But I don't believe that it's time for that in this market. Uh, Bitcoin up almost 2,000, 31,490, up 1955. The dollar was up about 28 cents, back to $1.244. Bonds were down 1.5. The Bitcoin and Ethereum, I just want to take a quick look here. They're trying to make a bottom, and it is trying to make a move to the upside, but until it closes above this 31,650, I can't really believe in it. And the last one that I wanted to look at is the dollar, because while it hasn't rallied all that much, and it too would have to move for me well over 102.90 in order to break. Clearly, the 5-day has bottomed and started up a little. Across to the upside, which I think is unlikely, could take us up as high as about 103 and three quarters to 104, but I do not see it making a new high. All right, everyone, I'll be back first thing in the morning. Hope you had a good trade day, and hope you were in the UNG.